What is up, everybody? DanDanTheFireman here. And do you like the outdoors? I absolutely love the outdoors. This is beautiful out here. Well, we're going to be talking about 5 reasons why riding motorcycles are worth the risk, and that's part of it. So let's jump into it. I got a question for you. Do you believe, true or false, loud pipes save lives? I'm going to give you the answer at the end of this video, so stay tuned. So anyways, guys, while I'm standing up here in this beautiful view, I don't know if you can see it because of this camera, but this 360 camera, I bet you definitely can see how beautiful the Catalina Mountains are and everything, and how beautiful and how wonderful feeling it is while riding, because that is it. Motorcycles allow you to experience the great outdoors more freely. Now, sure, rain and wind could be a detriment. It was hailing and it was raining earlier today. It was pretty dang windy today, and I wasn't riding. That's why I'm riding out now. But motorcycles get ample opportunities for the fresh air, man. For the fresh air is amazing. I love it. Finally got my nose not congested. I've been sick all week. But yeah, you get access to the outdoors. You get to move around when you're riding. You know what? Let's go ahead and start riding. Let's just start riding. So when you're out riding, you get access to this fresh air. If you're out in the woods, if you're out in the city, it kind of sucks. You get a lot of exhaust. But when you're out here, it's beautiful. You get this fresh air. And then one thing that you don't get into the car is that, look at this. I am completely exposed. I feel the air. I feel the breeze. I feel free. And I think that's really worth the risk, because the risk here is obviously I'm exposed. I don't have a cage. I don't have airbags. I don't have a seatbelt. I don't have all that stuff to keep me safe if something hits me, if there's an impact. Way to mitigate that, we're full gear. Next one is motorcycles can fit in even the smallest of garages. They fit in the smallest, anyway, they fit in the smallest of spaces too. I can lane split if I wanted to. This is a very small shoulder right here, so if I had an issue where I broke down or I feel like I had to pull off, I can easily pull off onto the shoulder, and I have ample room right here. That is one of the coolest things about motorcycles. Parking is easy. Back it in. You don't have to parallel park. If you can't find a spot, just back it in right there. Easy peasy pumpkin easy, bruh. Whee! Motorcycles are fun too, but that's not part of the list. Anyways, motorcycles are actually allowed in many high occupancy vehicle lanes, which are the HOV lanes, you know, the carpooling lanes, throughout the country. You're allowed to actually go into them anytime, any day, anytime, whatever's. You're actually allowed to go into them for the most part, and that's really nice because now you're away from traffic. You have pretty much your own lane where it's just one direction. Everyone's going a certain speed. You don't have to worry about anybody merging onto you. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. So that's really nice, really handy. And it's worth it because, man, if you can't lane split like in the state of Arizona, I can't lane split between all that traffic in the main lanes. So if I can move over into the HOV lane, which is consistently moving because they're the ones that, you know, are getting to work, they're commuting, they're going into that lane for long distances at a time, that allows me to keep moving. Keep on moving. And I got this massive shoulder usually on the left side. Nobody's over there, but I got this massive shoulder for an escape route. I usually get a nice buffer on the right side for an escape route. It's great. It's awesome. So it's worth that. Before we jump into the next one, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button. How you doing, buddy? Make sure you hit that subscribe button, notification bell button, because honestly, I don't think subscriptions work very well on YouTube anymore. You got to actually have that notification bell button to be notified. It's weird how that works. So guys, the next one. In general, motorcycles retain their value better than cars for the most part, depending on how well you treat it, obviously. So I've seen Harley sell used more than people bought them new. I'm serious. I have a buddy here, another DDFM crew member, RoadWrangler here. He said that he had he had a Dyna. Dang it! What did he have? He had a Dyna. Anyways, he's gonna correct me. I'll figure it out when I'm editing. He had a Dyna. He traded it in, got himself a new bike. He traded it in more than when he bought it new. That's insane. So guys, that is crazy. You can definitely get a bike, sell it later. It's worth that. You're obviously going to build negative equity whenever you buy a vehicle, whenever you buy a car, whenever you buy a motorcycle. The moment you take it off the lot, it loses value. I understand that, but motorcycles honestly are cooler. People pay a premium because they're cool. People pay a premium because they're hobby toys. They're fun things. They're not necessarily designed for commuting. And that's how people look at them, but, you know, I commute on my bike all the time. Just watch out, though. There is a fierce market out there, fierce competition out there. There's a ton of motorcycles. So if you have a Ninja 300, guess what? There's a good chance there's probably like 5 other Ninja 300s out there that are in the used market. So you're having to compete with them. So if you have something unique, that might not be the best thing either. Sometimes people don't want unique. Some people just want a bike. So don't expect to get your full price that you put into the bike. If you have a bunch of aftermarket parts, might not be getting all the money that you put into it, but here's the thing, you're gonna get a lot more than if you put a shit ton of aftermarket parts. Sorry, I got a burp, I don't breathe. You're not gonna get, if you got a car and you put a ton of aftermarket parts, it's still gonna have more value as a motorcycle than that car. Does that make sense? Another thing is riding a motorcycle requires more brain power than driving a car. Increases overall cognitive function. Cognitive function, we talked about this in the motorcycles and depression videos. You have to focus in. You have to focus in, zone in, not zone out. So in a car, you're just sitting there like texting. Hopefully you're not. But a lot of people just sit there and they're just like bloop, 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 bloop. And, you know, fiddling with this, daydreaming. What am I doing here? They're doing that in a car, but have you ever noticed when you're riding, or if you haven't ridden yet, you're gonna notice this, is that you have to focus on the road. You have to focus on the debris, you have to focus on the hazards, you have to focus on the cars. There's things that are out there that want to get you. And you don't have that cage to give you that sense of, I don't have to focus, right? So that increases your cognitive function. It's like the difference between watching a movie and playing a really hard game. Does that make sense? For those gamers out there that you have to focus on, you know, jump here, shoot here, do this, and then instead of just sitting back, throwing popcorn in your gullet. You know what I mean? So that is a huge thing. That is a very important thing when it comes to motorcycles. That is worth it. It's very important. And actually, I'm gonna throw out my opinion out there. I know it's backed up by research somewhere, but I don't have it on me. Is that video games help out people with Alzheimer's. So imagine what motorcycles can do with your brain. It's probably making you smarter. You know what I'm saying? You want to get smart, bruh. Now just remember, like, people in the car, they literally can just be nice and easy. They got 4 wheels. They don't have 2. They can just sit there. They can drive with just their knees. They can be like, what? You know, this is not a big deal. Cruise control. You can't do that in a bike. But yeah, anyways, you gotta stay focused when you're riding. You have to have your hands, you gotta have your body. You have to be in tune with the bike. You gotta focus and pay attention to hazards. You can't ride with your knees like you can drive a car with your knees. You gotta focus and pay attention. So that's what I'm trying to get out there. Ooh, popped into neutral. See, you gotta pay attention. So true or false, everybody? True or false? Do loud pipes save lives? What did you put in the comments? Let me know. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No, they don't. Think about it. Cars are super hyper insulated nowadays. Do you really think this exhaust that is shooting the shooting the decibels that way, shooting the noise that way, pointing it that way, do you think the car in front of me is gonna hear me? No, they're not. The cars are super insulated. They have their music playing. They're talking with their friends. They're probably focused on their phones. They're focused on talking to the, you know, they're not paying attention to you. I don't know how many times I've driven an ambulance, lights and sirens, driven a fire truck, lights and sirens, and the people would not see me. They would not pull over. They would not do anything. And I'm in a big ass red vehicle with lights blaring with sirens that are way more powerful than that loud pipe, and they don't see me, they don't hear me, they don't care. Do you think they're gonna see or hear you because you're loud pipe? Now, the loud pipe save lives. That is more so in the aspect of it. When I'm riding next to somebody, the loud pipeness, the will get their attention. They'll see me. They'll leave me alone. It's not gonna happen, guys. So it's false. It's false. I expand more into it in the comments. I'll answer your guys' comments. Love to see what you have to say about it. Maybe some of you have your lives have been saved by the pipes. Anyways, with that said, hope you guys subscribe, ride safe, and I'll see you guys later. And when I say subscribe, I really do mean it. I guess the notifications don't really pop out unless you hit that notification bell button. That supports the channel. That way you know if I have a live stream coming up, and that way you know that there's a badass video coming out. Bye.